Hello guys and welcome to another MK Mobile video. So the Cold War Tower is over. In the wake of the events that are unfolding in Ukraine, Warner Brothers decided that it's not politically correct to have the Cold War Tower on. Probably this was the reason. And they decided to remove it, and now we have the Darkwing Tower back, which is without any doubt the hardest tower we ever had in MK Mobile. If you want to get help clearing difficult stages in this tower, then if you haven't done so already, please feel free to join our Discord server. There are threads for every single difficult battle. Also, we have one very friendly bot that can give you information about every type of equipment. For instance, if you're searching for equipment that gives resistance to stun, equipment that boosts your bleed damage, fire damage, equipment that boosts your special attack damage, and so on, you will have it all. With that said, let's talk about the fact that we have the Darkwing Tower for another 3 weeks, the Fatal Darkwing Tower, which is good and bad. The good thing is that still we have a Fatal Tower. The bad thing is that this means that we're not going to get an update at least for another 3 weeks, which is kind of disappointing. The last update we had was in December. Ever since then, the game is on steady decline. I have so many people that I know have been playing the game for years that currently not playing the game because it's too boring. So I think that they should bring us something really cool in the next update, and I have very high hopes for it. Now, I just want to tell you guys what I think the game should do right off the bat. The most important thing. The first thing is the game mode that we need to have, another game mode, because like honestly, towers are fun if you do them once or twice. Let's say after that, the whole thing is becoming tedious and boring, and it actually affects the game. On the other side, we have survival mode, which I really like. I like the fact that survival mode urges you to use many different cards, to use different combination of characters to build some alternative teams. Problem with survival mode is that you cannot get the newest cards there. The only way you can get, for instance, MK11 Rain, if we ever decide to label him now as a new card, because MK11 Rain was released, I believe, in April 2021, so he's almost 1 year old, he's not a new card. But the only way you can get him is in towers, and the chances are extremely low. In survival mode, you cannot do that. So, let's say for veteran players or players that have most of the old diamonds maxed out, survival mode, no, it's not really entertaining. On the other hand, we have the tower. That's really interesting the first time, kind of interesting the second time, and each consecutive time that you want to grind the tower after the second one is really boring because the same battles over and over and over again. This is the reason, guys, why we require a fresh game mode. And the one thing that the game lacks is like a multiplayer, like player versus player. Yeah, of course, it's not going to be a live battle because who's going to tap on the screen faster, right? It's not going to happen. If they want to do this, they have to change the entire way the game functions. But they're not going to do that, probably. What they can do instead is make sure that, let's say, we can build 5 teams, and we can give certain equipment to these teams. And after that, we just let the AI control our teams, and at the end of the day, we see the results. This is how it should be. This is how I believe it will be pretty interesting. Also, the player should be able to ban, let's say, 3 pieces of equipment and 3 characters, so that the enemy team cannot use them. And it's 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 3. It doesn't matter. It will bring so much new things in the game, to bring so much new enjoyment. Also, we require a mode that is like quick mode, when you can use the new characters. For instance, the good thing is that you can get, for instance, MK11 Sindel and use her in quick mode, and she can be Fusion 10. Problem is that quick mode is useless. Say whatever you want, but quick mode is useless. You can just play for fun and to test new characters. You need a game mode where pay to win factor is not really that important. Like they have in Clash Royale. You have a ladder where if you don't have really maxed out cards, at some point it's getting really hard. But you have also challenges where everyone can participate as long as they have unlocked the character. So the level, the fusion doesn't matter. This is one thing that we require in MK Mobile. Another thing is, probably a lot of you disagree with me, but I don't want any new characters. Of course, I would like to have certain characters in the game, but I don't think that having new characters is the biggest problem for MK Mobile at this point. We have so many characters that nobody uses. Characters such as Kintaro, horrible passive. It just has to be reworked. Also, characters such as, I don't know, the guy, Shaolin Master Kung Lao, the guy that boosts the bronze damage, he will be literally useful in the first 2-3 weeks playing the game, and then nobody will ever use him. There's so many characters that has to be reworked. Silver Kitana, Classic Kitana, why is she silver? The Jax, the Silver Jax, Pharma Jax, why is he silver, why he's not gold? And so on. So, balancing the characters, changing the passive of certain characters, changing the damage, will be much, much more important because we already have about 150 characters. And I would, like, I don't want to say that many of them are useless, but definitely they're characters that almost everybody uses, and they're characters that almost nobody uses. For a reason, right? You can say whatever you want, for instance. Reg Devora is not a horrible character, she can be useful in a specific team, and if you give her very good equipment, she's becoming decent. But still, by the time you get to the point where you got such a great equipment that Reg Devora will be useful, you most likely have a maxed out account. So this is what I'm talking about. You have to make sure that every character is useful, not just 99% of the people using MK11 Scorpion and 1% using the rest because they have maxed out accounts. No, this is not how the game should function. You have to make sure that every character is, if not at the same level, then pretty close, right? Or if you don't want to do that, then make sure that certain diamonds are easier to obtain. For instance, I want to really give an example with Leatherface because I consider him as a terrible character. Leatherface, if he was available, let's say, if he was the easiest diamond to obtain, let's say you can max him out in 4 or 5 months playing the game, then I'll say, yeah, that's good. He's not really that great, but the fact that you can get him maxed out so easy compensates for that. Unfortunately, this is not the case for Leatherface, it's not the case for Reg Devora, for all those diamonds that are not really considered that good. And this has to change. If you don't want to do that, then make sure they're close. They're not close, right? Because you cannot compare MK11 Scorpion to Reg Devora, right? Well, you cannot compare classic Liu Kang to, I don't know, Leatherface. You get my point, right? The difference between them is so huge. It feels like they're different leagues, but at the same time, they're almost equally hard to obtain. And quite honestly, Leatherface is harder to obtain compared to classic Liu Kang. That doesn't make any sense. He's a guest character, okay, I get it. You can probably get a discounted pack or something. But if he's a guest character, make sure he's better, right? If he's available just once a year. Alright, so this is my thoughts on the new update. I don't know when it's coming. I guess it's going to be March. What I also want to do in this update, I want them to do something really important. I want them to make sure that we can preset talent set trees, and then depending on the battle we can select the correct talent set, right? Depending on the team, most importantly. If, for example, you're playing a team that relies on dots, you will have a preset talents that boost your dot damage. If you're playing a team that relies mainly on special 1, then you want to use a talent set that relies on or boosts your special 1 damage. If you're doing a team that is very defensive, then probably you need to get more defensive talents. So you got my idea, right? Currently, the talents are one of the best things in MK Mobile because you can achieve so many things by simply reorganizing your talents, but the thing that you have to do that over and over again. At some point, instead of making the talent set one of the best features in the game, it's turning in one of the worst because it's really boring. It's not about the 12 souls that you need to spend in order to change a talent set. It's about the time and the fact that you have to reset the talents, then do it over again. Sometimes I'm so bored that I'm not going to spend all my talents. So I'll, let's say, leave 20 talents because I'm just sick of changing my talent tree over and over again. This is another thing that they have to change in order to have a very successful update. And I'm really hoping for the next update, because if the next update doesn't change something, then it's going to be really bad for the game. The game is really on decline since update 3.3, probably partially thanks to the bad monetization system, and I hope it's going to get fixed as well, but it's another whole topic that I'm going to discuss probably next time. Alright guys, so please let me know in the comments what do you think about the new update. Do you expect something big? And see you next time. Take care guys. Perfect.